Good morning. Okay, so Happy New Year, and we are about to get started with our sales tax part 2 of our ratio and proportions unit. Now, we're still going to be doing proportions. We're still going to be looking at proportional relationships and figuring tax, tips, commission, markups, markdowns, all of those things using proportional relationships. Now, let me say this. I can't stress this enough. Our standards require that you understand that this is a proportional relationship. Okay? If you try to get help, if you go and look on the internet, if you look, get your parents to talk to you about sales tax, tips, commission, they're not going to work it the way we're working it, because we are getting down to the, what's really happening here. Now, when they work it, the way they work it, and a lot of your parents may have really good mental math strategies that they're going to use to figure tips when they're in a restaurant, or to figure sales tax when they're at the store. They're using a proportional relationship to do that. But there's some kind of little shortcut backdoor type things that mental math, that common sense mental math, that you can adapt and pick up over the course of the years that you could use to do sales tax, tips, commission, that kind of thing. But you need to understand that it's a proportional relationship that's allowing us to, that's the math behind it. Okay? So you're going to have to do this when you go home, or you're trying to get a little extra help somewhere. You're not going to find it being worked the way that we're working it. Now the math is going to be the same. The multiply, divide, that kind of math, I could go back and show you step by step how everything that you find on the internet and anything you Google, anything that your parents are doing, fits right into what we're doing. And all of the math is there. The math doesn't change, but how we think about the math sometimes has to change in order for us to fully understand what's going on with the math. So I just want to kind of preface this unit with that. We have to approach sales tax, tips, commission, all of that kind of thing from a proportional relationships, from our standards. Okay? So it may look a little different if you're trying to find some help somewhere. But don't let that confuse you. If you need, if you have questions, that kind of thing, all you have to do is ask. I just kind of like to preface this unit with that, because this is one of those units where parents are like, oh, I can help you with that. I know how to do that. Or, and then it looks so foreign when they're trying to help you, and they're like, what are they doing? This new math? It's not new math. The math is the same. I promise the math is the same. But how we're thinking about the math has to be a little bit different. Okay? It's not hard. It's not hard at all. We're still going to be using our bridge map. Still going to be looking at it in the bridge map. So, but let's go ahead. You've already taken your pretest. So let's go ahead, and you're going to get this handout from Mr. Hendon. If you don't already have it, pause the video and go get it. And I'm going to turn my camera around. I don't have the other tripod that I normally use, and so if my camera's a little wiggly this morning, y'all just bear with me, okay? So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. Okay, so sales tax is a dollar amount, and it is a tax. We're going to fill in these blanks up here. It is a tax imposed by a state or local government. Okay, so y'all just... a tax imposed by state or local governments. Okay? It is a percentage of cost of goods sold by the seller. And taxes vary by region. Sales tax can vary from one county to the next. Lamar County sales tax might be different from Upson County sales tax. Now, I do have this document right here that I'll be putting on the classroom later for you to have to go back and look at your... Now, the thing that I need you to do right now is we're going to take right here, and we're not using this formula. Okay, so we're going to scratch that out. We are not using this formula. We're not going to use that formula. We're going to be using a bridge map. Okay, so I'm going to get me a sheet of paper so that I can work this on a sheet of paper so I'll have plenty of room. So I got me a sheet of paper. Here's my handout. So it's telling us that our tip amount is 7.4%. Okay? Our tip amount is 7.4%. So the bridge map that we're going to be using to do taxes, tips, and commission is still going to be a part over whole relationship. We still have our part over whole. This is going to be our percent over here, and 100 will always be right there. This will always be our dollar amounts over here. These are always our percentages over here, okay? So on the first one, if you notice on your handout, it says that the shirt cost $12.38, and they purchased 2 shirts, okay? So first thing we've got to do is, if they purchase 2 shirts, we have 2 shirts, 2 at $12.38. Okay? So the first thing we've got to do is look at our, what we call our subtotal. 2 times $12.38. And we get $24.76. That's going to be our subtotal. Our subtotal right here is $24.76. Okay? Subtotal is the amount of your items before you do any taxes or anything like that. All right, so now we've got to take this $12.38 and find our total. We got to find the sales tax. So we want to know what part of $12.38 we've got our 7.4% sales tax. It told us right here that our tax okay, guys, I'm sorry, but we should have probably read this problem before we got started, but let's go back and look right here. Zane buys 5 shirts from the store. The sales tax in his town is 7.4%. Find the sales tax on each item and total cost he paid for all 5 shirts. Okay, so that's what we're doing. He bought 2 shirts at $12.38, which was $24.76. So now we're finding the sales tax on that $24.76. I'm sorry, I'm not awake yet. This is $24.76, and this should be $24.76. Hang with me for a minute. I'm sorry. Okay. 24 cents. We want to know the sales tax on $24.76. There's our X. Now, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing all along. We're going to cross multiply starting with the variable. 100x equals, cross multiply right here. $24.76 times 7.4 is 183 point. I'm going to go ahead and write down all of those digits for the moment. 183.224. Divide both sides by 100. And that's 1/8. All right, so I'm going to write it all down. Now, we've got to make this number look like money. Well, we know that if we're going to make it look like money, we need those digits right there. But we need to make sure that it's rounded correctly. So that 2 does nothing to that 3. So our tax here is $1.83. And so if we take $24.76 and we add $1.83, we get $26.59. And that's all there is to finding sales tax. Okay? So that's all there is to finding sales tax. Let's go ahead and do the next one. We have 2 shirts at $13.40. 2 shirts at $13.40 is $26.80. Now we're going to set up our bridge map using that $26.80. $26.80. 7.4% sales tax. Cross multiply starting with the variable. $198.32. Having to look around this camera. It's driving me crazy. Divide both sides by 100. And x equals 198.32. We need it to look like money, so we need that much. That 3 does nothing to that 8. So our sales tax is $1.98. This is $26.80. If we add those, you add the subtotal and your tax, and we get $28.78. And then we have one more shirt at $14.10. 7.4% tax over 100. Multiply starting with the variable. Divide both sides by 100. So this is $1. We need this much. That 3 does nothing. $1.04. And when we add those, we get, oops, I can't hold my paper. We're adding right there. And to get our grand total, we're going to add that right there, and we get $70.51. Okay. Now, you're going to, go back and rewatch this. I have another handout that I'm going to be, you're going to do after this one that I'm going to be going back over doing some commission and that kind of stuff with you. We're just using this bridge map, guys. You're setting up the bridge map, cross multiplying and dividing, just like you would if you were finding, because this is a proportional relationship. Okay, we're setting up a proportion to find sales tax, tips, commission, markups, markdowns. Okay, we're not doing markups and markdowns right now. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. I'm not doing markups and markdowns right now. Okay, watch this, rewatch this. I'll say again, this is your instruction this week, and cross your fingers and hope and pray that I stay well. Okay. Hopefully I'll see you at the end of this week. But if you need me, you can send me a message through Google Classroom. I will be keeping a check on that. Send me a message through Google Classroom or Remind. And I don't think Remind will let you send me a message, though. It'll let you email me. But get a message to me if you have a question. And I am available to you. But you need to watch this, rewatch this, and just practice, practice, practice. Okay? I need you to be better than your best. And do me proud. Okay? Go to the next video and get your next set of notes and examples, and I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.